20分钟，让我们以最期待的心情，将时间交给远自美国6970地区扶轮青年交换计划董事长。至今，董事长已经有超过30年以上100%的出席记录，这样的坚持，让我们不得不对他由衷的佩服。
此外，董事长从1999年底以来，在自己的地区打造全新的长期青年交换计划，此计划在2006年更荣获了该地区特殊的纪念奖，也成为北美地区最杰出的青少年交换计划执行者。董事长对扶轮青年交换计划所做出的贡献不言可喻。今天，他将为我们带来关于扶轮青年交换计划的演讲。
The chair of RYEFI from RID 6970 has more than 30 years of perfect attendance. His consistency and dedication, of course, is our role model.
Nevertheless, since 1999, after the chair moved to Jacksonville, Florida, he launched a brand new project of long-term youth exchange program in RID 6970. This project even got a special reward and became the most outstanding Rotary exchange program in North America.
Now, it is our grateful to have the distinguished speaker of today, a good friend from state,
Chair L. Carter.
Good afternoon. How many Brazilians? Brasileiros. Boa tarde. Question for the exchange students. Would anybody like to go to Disney World? You're not invited. Question for the Rotarians. Would any of you like to go to Disney World? North American Youth Exchange Conference, Disney World, next October. This is an amazing program, Rotary Youth Exchange. But we think it's more than just a program. We think it's an opportunity for young people. We think it's a project for our clubs and our districts to participate in. But when you're sending hundreds of students around the world, thousands of students around the world, it also becomes more than that. It becomes a business. And so today I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about what I call the business of Rotary Youth Exchange, a global venture for the 21st century. When we talk about a business, we talk about the things that make up that business. What are the components of any business in the world? There are things like ideas, investors, suppliers, customers, products, marketing. These are the things that will make up any business. Well, how do they apply to our Rotary Youth Exchange business? Let's start with ideas. What kind of ideas drive us? The first one is to help cultures to know each other, to learn about each other. Rotary Youth Exchange aims to bring the world into our communities. We open up the world to our citizens as we send these students to different places around the world. We invest in our young people, right? These are some of the ideas that we base our Rotary Youth Exchange business on, and maybe the ultimate one is that we try to build international understanding and peace. So when we talk about those ideas, we can refer back to a past president of Rotary International, Carl Wilhelm Stenhammar from Sweden, who was the international president in 2005-2006. And Carl Wilhelm was asked why he thought the Rotary Youth Exchange program was so important. Here's what he said. He said, "One of our goals is to create peace and better understanding between people. I think Rotary's Youth Exchange program is the best way of doing that. My dream is for every 17-year-old to become a youth exchange student. If we could achieve this, there would be no more wars." So what really it means is that the ideas of our Rotary Youth Exchange business are the ideals of Rotary. So what about investors? Who are the investors in our business? Anybody want to take a guess? Well, I guess the investors could be the parents. They're putting up some money, right? Could also be the district governors. We have to give them some credit too. They're investing in this with their district budgets. Who are the suppliers? The suppliers are our sponsor districts and clubs that are going to be providing what makes up our business. Okay, big question now. Who are the customers? How many people think the students are our customers? Raise your hand. It's going to be a hard day. No, I'm sorry. The students are not our customers. Our customers are the host districts and clubs that we will be exchanging with. For me, my customer is Rotary Youth Exchange MT, and my good friend Henry 1, hydraulic. And my customer is Martine from Switzerland, and my customer is Gianni from Brazil, and friends all over the world. Those are my customers. Those are the people that I want to do business with year after year after year. So what's my product? The students are my product. That's what I'm sending to all my customers, right? How am I going to market my product? Well, I'm going to market my product through selection and preparation for making that product be the best product that it can be. So let's look at this product and see what it might be. Oh yeah, there is a special factor involved here. That my suppliers and my customers are often interchangeable. The customers that I ship to also ship to me, right? So they're my customers as well as being my suppliers. All right, let's define our product a little bit. Let's look at what this product is. I've discovered that our product has new models every year. They're bright and they're shiny. They have lots of energy. They often consume a lot of fuel, right? They're exported all over the world, and they're imported too. Now, one of the things that we've realized in Florida is that our imports usually outnumber our exports. And our imports are often better quality than our exports. Somebody's awake out there. Our exports often have features that are not really suited for the international market. What does it sound like we're talking about? What is our product? Sounds like one of those, right? Well, once we understand our product, it's time for us to decide how we're going to position ourselves in the marketplace. And part of positioning yourself in the marketplace is creating a brand, an identity, something that you can say, this is what our product is. But creating that brand is not all that this is about. Creating the brand is only the start, because even if you have a brand, you have to have something behind it. Now, maybe some of the older Rotarians in the audience might remember this logo. Does anybody know what that logo is? Is that a brand that came here to Taiwan? Maybe not. Well, that was the logo of the Ford Edsel, which is known as one of the biggest failures in automotive history. It's a lovely logo, but a logo isn't enough. You have to have something behind it. You have to look to try to figure out what your customers will want. So what do you think my customers want in my products? Do they want a top-of-the-line model? Something with high performance, lots of features, something that's a good investment, an enjoyable experience, something that's going to lead to repeat customers That's important to me, right? Well, maybe they'll settle for a mid-range model. Well, it's acceptable, it's okay. There's no real customer loyalty. I'll get one of those this time, maybe I'll try something else next time. Maybe I'll settle for a low-end model. High maintenance, low value, an overall bad experience. I'll never have one of those again. That's not what we want to hear, is it, from our customers? So which model will our customers want? Well, we think that it's going to be the model that carries this logo, the Rotary Youth Exchange logo, a logo that is recognized all over the world as being a sign of quality and a top-of-the-line product. All right, so we've taken this along a little bit. How about a test drive? Oh, yeah. Let's take a look and see what exactly we might find out there on the road. And to do so, I'm going to use our Youth Exchange website, ryeflorida.org, where we feature journals from our students, our inbound and outbound students, expressing and sharing their experiences throughout the years. That's what our test drive is going to be about. And we're going to start our Youth Exchange Experience test drive with a young lady named Chelsea King, who spent her exchange year in Japan. Chelsea wrote, "My classmates ask, why Japan? And I say I wanted to live an adventure, and they say, I'm afraid of adventures. Don't you miss home? And I say, no, for home will always be there. The USA will always be there. And a chance like this will not always be here. I have about 48 days left until I go back to America, and I don't even want to think about it. I have a farewell speech to give, but sometimes I wish I could forget how to say the word goodbye. It's just going to be so hard for me. I've just really grown to love Japan and all the people that I've gotten to know over these 9+ months. I suppose that is how all exchanges go. But I've really enjoyed mine and hope to make the most out of the last 48 days I have to make happy memories with. Now I'd like you to meet Taja Shroff. She went to Ecuador. Taja wrote, Hector gave another introduction speech explaining the role of the medicine man in a society, his duties and his responsibilities, his training. Domingo then lit the fire in the middle of the hut and rolled a couple of cigar-type things. One by one, we took our seat on the chair in the middle, and Domingo did the traditional cleansing ritual on us, brushing us with a small bunch of leaves and blowing smoke down our backs and around our faces. With every hug from a family member, every outing with friends, every kind word or encouragement, I create a new voice, one that says that even though my time here will end, my impact here never will. I might be gone, but I am damn sure taking a part of the heart of every person that I have met here with me when I go, and I'm leaving behind a million parts of my own. This is Mike Williams. Mike Williams came from a very poor family, didn't have much. He spent his exchange year in Italy. He wrote, believe it or not, I think I'm enjoying myself on this farm more than I ever have in the city. Maybe it's the smell screwing with my thinking juice, or maybe I'm just having the time of my life. Now I have a new feeling in my soul, and I'm not sure if I know exactly what that is. It's a strange feeling, unlike anything I've ever felt before. One day I will wake up and it will be July 14th, the day I come home. And then I have to say goodbye to it all, my families, my new friends, my new life. I don't want to go home. If you ask me, I feel as if I already am home. This young man's name is Jacob Dobbs. He was an outbound student in Thailand, hosted by the Rotary Club of Phuket in 2004-2005. And Jacob was living there when the tsunami hit. Jacob wrote, now as I write this report, the death toll climbs to about 70,000. I've been trying my best to take advantage of the situation that I was put in, especially since so many families and local people were not as lucky as I had been. Yesterday, I spent the entire day at City Hall, where over 30 representatives of embassies from around the world tried to help the victims fix their passport or money problems and send them straight to Bangkok. The area was filled with boards of flyers with the faces of missing loved ones, and a large hospital board posted pictures of people that were too mangled to recognize. I was an English, Spanish, Thai translator for the tourists, basically escorting people through the whole process of getting enough paperwork done to get sent back to their countries, making a difference. This young man's name is Matt Hagler. He was born and raised in Florida. You know Florida, it's warm, right? We sent him to northern Siberia. Gotta have fun when you're doing this, right? Matt wrote, after the play ended, our group of 5 went to a nearby cafe. We were constantly being watched since we also represented 5 different countries. After all, 1 foreigner in Yakutsk is unreal enough, but 5 means we must have been banished here. The raw horse didn't taste so strange anymore. It wasn't much different than reaching into a bag of potato chips or popcorn. Doubts only arose in me after seeing the occasional purple vein emerging from a chunk of the frozen meat. I whipped the leaves up and down his body, trying not to notice what was really going on, but I couldn't help but think that I was naked with another man in a sauna, and I was whipping him with eucalyptus leaves. It's an experience for you folks. This young lady's name is Mackenzie Laporte. She spent her exchange year in Lithuania. Mackenzie wrote, I like the person I'm becoming, and as every day passes, I feel that person growing. I'm somehow more sure of myself, more sure of what I want, but in other ways I'm just as lost as anyone else, and I question everything I do. I guess that transformation will never be complete. How could it be? Since I've seen a little more of the world, I've realized that with each new person I meet, I gain new perspectives, and in each new place I see, I can always find wonder. I'm developing a thirst for new experiences, and I am not the scared little girl who arrived in Lithuania 7 months ago. I'm no longer intimidated by what I don't understand. I have found such a good place inside myself that I don't need to be afraid. I'm now aware that the only person in charge of how I feel is myself, and I'm constantly surprised by just how good things really are. Well, here's a little detour. Adriana Ojeda, who you will hear from and meet tomorrow here at this conference, was a Florida outbound here in Taiwan a couple of years ago. Adriana wrote, 3 years ago, around this time, I'm ignoring that just like the governors did. 3 years ago, around this time, I found out that I would be calling Taiwan home for the next year. I was nervous about how much more than just learning the language. I worried about how I'd fit in, how people would react and act toward me. I had no idea what kinds of culture shock I'd face, or if I'd have long periods of homesickness. My Taiwanese friends in Florida were having a hard time explaining what it was about Taiwan that made people fall in love with it, made people want to go back, and made people smile when they thought about their experiences in Taiwan. After having lived here for a year, I realized what made Taiwan so special is not the landmarks or the food, but the people and the way they pull you in and make you feel more like one of them. It's the way people accept you for what you are and the way they smile at you. It's also the splendor of the culture. Taiwan has so many little quirks here and there, but that's what makes it so beautiful. It's what made me come back last year to start my university here. It's what makes Taiwan like a home to me, because in the end, that's what it is. My home away from home. All right, a couple more. Here's Hannah Klein, who went to Japan. And Hannah wrote, I've been having amazing out-of-this-world experiences in my beloved Japan. I might say out of this world, but in this period of time, Japan has become nothing but my world. It's the only place I can picture myself in, being with my friends, forgetting my English, chatting under the sakura, representing my school in Kyudo competitions, reading Harry Potter and understanding some of the kanji. It's everything I've waited my whole life to find. There are no thanks great enough to give Rotary for what you've given me. Thank you, Rotary, for making a citizen of the world. You've helped to provide me with the confidence, knowledge, and love that I know now will last a lifetime. If there's one thing I aspire to be, it's a Rotarian, so that I can make this experience possible for other kids like me looking for a home in a country where they don't belong. And finally, we're going to circle back to Mike Williams one more time. Mike wrote, I get it now. I understand what this program is all about, understanding. An exchange never ends, it continues forever. Because the only thing guaranteed in life is change. The only thing to satisfy change is understanding. And the only way to truly achieve understanding is adaptation. Rotary gives you an opportunity to witness change in understanding through adaptation firsthand. And that is truly a miracle. That is how and why world peace can be achieved. We are all so different, yet so alike, that it is actually possible to change the world one person at a time, 1 year at a time. So, whose turn is it next? The answer to that question is in this room, ladies and gentlemen. The answer to that question is in our product catalog. It's the students that will carry our banner, our brand across the world next year, because Rotary Youth Exchange is truly open for business. Shay.
Thank you very much, Jill. 让我们以热烈的掌声再次感谢董事长宝贵的经验分享与祝福，谢谢。